She had been at college for barely 2 weeks. Then, one night, 17-year-old Taylor Behl walked out of her dorm and disappeared. But investigators would eventually discover that one of the last men seen near her dorm was hiding a much darker secret. The 5th of September 2005, Taylor Behl was a freshman at Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond, Virginia. She was only 17 and had just started a completely new chapter of her life. That night, Taylor had dinner with a friend before returning to campus. Nothing seemed unusual until around 10:24 p.m. A campus security camera captured Taylor leaving her residence hall. She had her phone, student ID, some cash, and her car keys. Then she disappeared. No calls, no return to her room, and no explanation for where she had gone. Days passed with no sign of Taylor. Then investigators finally got a break. Her white Ford Escort was discovered on a quiet residential street near campus. But something was wrong. Taylor's Virginia license plates were gone. In their place were stolen plates from Ohio. Someone appeared to have tried to disguise the car. Police began examining the people Taylor knew, and one name quickly became impossible to ignore: Ben Fawley, a 38-year-old amateur photographer who had communicated with Taylor online and photographed her before she started college. Then, investigators reviewed the campus surveillance footage again. Fawley could be seen near Taylor's dorm only minutes before she disappeared, and suddenly this case changed completely. But the biggest clue came from somewhere investigators probably never expected: a photograph. Police were examining photographs posted on one of Fawley's websites when a former girlfriend recognized a rural property in one of the images. She knew exactly where it was. Investigators traveled roughly 75 miles east of Richmond to Mathews County, Virginia. On October 5th, exactly 1 month after Taylor disappeared, investigators searched the wooded area near that property. There, they discovered human remains. Dental records confirmed what Taylor's family had feared. They had found Taylor. The missing person investigation was now a homicide investigation. Fawley later claimed Taylor's death had been accidental during an intimate encounter, but prosecutors rejected his explanation. Because of the condition of Taylor's remains, medical examiners could not determine the exact mechanism of death. What they could determine was that her death was a homicide. In August 2006, Fawley entered an Alford plea to second-degree murder. That meant he did not formally admit guilt, but acknowledged prosecutors had enough evidence to convict him. The judge sentenced him to 30 years in prison. But one detail makes this case especially disturbing. While people were desperately searching for Taylor, the man who would ultimately be convicted in connection with her death had been hiding in plain sight. And without one photograph posted online, investigators might never have known where to look. The Taylor Behl case, 2005. What detail in this case surprised you most?